I'm going to loop back quickly because it seems like this is sort of the dead end here. And then go back to the train station. Because, I don't know, I just feel like everything leads to the train station. I can already hear another phone call coming from this house. Gosh, these are some big houses. It's almost as big as American houses. Seems like there's a couple of spirits in this house too. And these terrible heaters.
Station Master's house, Howard Lantham speaking. Howard, it's Clive Smith. I need you to listen to me and not ask questions or interrupt. Can you do that? Yeah, I can. But why are you calling? The Emergency Measures Committee is imposing a quarantine around the valley. We've got an influenza outbreak in the village. We're suspending rail services, and we're also going to be shutting down the roads for a bit. You're going to be dealing with some anxious people, Howard, so you need to explain it's all under control, and we'll be back to normal in a few days. All right? Open up the emergency store. There's posters and boards, along with a bunch of stuff that hasn't been used since the war. Grab anything you think might be useful. I need you to close up any unoccupied buildings, put posters up, that sort of thing. Make sure everything is all squared away and shipshape. You were a military man, I'm sure you understand that. Everyone doing their bit, following their orders. All right? All right, I think. Good man. I knew we could count on you. Ah, Jesus, Maze. What the hell was that?
The pattern. So Howard is the person responsible for all the posters and all the houses being boarded up. As you can see by all the posters he's got here and all the tape. It looks like he's also been taking notes of his own. That noise, of course, was the pattern turning up. And I guess figuring out what was going on. Now, I'm not sure, but I think I saw the light up here. Gosh. And again, all the clocks in the house are stopped at the same time, 6:07. Oh dear, so this is Howard. Gosh. Bleeding out, I suppose. I'm really glad, so I used to get migraines quite a lot, you know, it's... Oh, this is adorable. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's pretty cool. So ideal job for Howard, really. But yeah, I used to get migraines quite frequently. But thankfully they finally stopped this year, touch wood. I'd certainly be worried if I was playing this game and still getting migraines. Especially because I get nosebleeds as well. Admittedly, more infrequently. The last time I had a bad one was when I came down with the flu earlier this year. And a lot of that was just from, you know, blowing my nose too much. There's nothing, I can't go around the back, so let's head out to the yard over here.
Appleton!
What are you doing here?
You thieving bastard, I knew it was you.
Listen, take everything you need, but then you have to leave. You don't understand, you can't be near me.
Painting your stupid little pictures. Stealing food. You always were a little prick.
Please, every second we're in proximity makes it worse. I'm a primary conduit.
You're a fucking disgrace. Come here!
Don't touch me, get off!
What's going on?
Come in here, lord
Jesus,
it over
Sam.
us! Thinking you're so much better
Sam,
than the
leave
rest
him.
of us!
No physical
you
contact.
and your stupid fucking missus!
stop
She's
it.
better than any of you! Sam?
Is he?
Meg, please.
Don't come near me.
Meg!
Charlie!
Meg, wait!
Don't touch me!
Meg, please, you have to understand, it was an accident! Get off her!
Let go, let's just go.
Charlie, you have to understand, it was an accident.
Just leave him. Leave him.
What have you done, Appleton, you bastard?
Come on, Charlie, let's just
Meg,
get out of
Charlie,
here.
please!
So he actually killed Sam. Which explains why there's a telltale hammer here. Oh, Stephen, how you've lost the run of yourself here. One thing I was thinking actually, so this is the Valley Farm wholesalers, and I was thinking Valley Farm, you know, Valley is quite, you know, a term for Wales, like people often describe being coming from the valleys. That was my terrible Welsh accent, in case you didn't get that there. Sorry, Wales. But yeah, thinking about it, Shropshire actually borders onto Wales, so it makes sense that...
You're a daft old bird walking all the way out here for it. You know Charlie would have dropped it off.
What, and have that stinking great lorry of his poisoning my birds? He shouldn't be driving it on these lanes. It's a hazard.
I think he was hoping he could have a word with you about Frank.
There's nothing to say.
Oh, listen, Wendy, they might all be scared of you, but that's not going to work with me. You're 68 years old. Grow up. Talk to Frank.
How dare you speak to me like that? Give me my bird feeder right now.
Promise me you'll drop by and see your brother.
Megan Holloway, give
Not
me...
a chance. Promise me. It's for your own good, and you know it.
You are a shamelessly manipulative and difficult woman. It's no wonder Charlie adores you so much.
No wonder I do what?
No wonder you never finish what you start. I thought I told you to check the incoming stock orders. Wendy, one bird feeder for you. I'll tell Frank you'll stop by.
Oh!
Charlie, stop mooning around and stick the kettle on. Make yourself useful.
But yeah, as I was saying, so Shropshire, where this is based, obviously borders onto Wales. So yeah, it will make sense that there's some Valley Farm, and also those two Welsh people, I've forgotten their names already, Di and Sean, who dropped in from the valleys. So what have we got over here? We've got an oil yard, petrol station for tankers. So let me get in here and get to this radio.
This is Catherine Collins, recording for posterity. It's all over. I don't know how long I've got. Whatever he did, whatever the planes were carrying, it's burning my lungs. Probably some kind of nerve agent. I suspect it's only exposure to the pattern that has kept me alive this long. I'm making my way to Tower 6. I'm going to fuse the signals from the optical array. I just hope I can make it.
Sometimes it seems to me, whenever we find these bits, that the spirit that's with us at the time is almost listening along with us and making sure that we see this whole thing and see the whole picture.
Hello? Hello, is there anyone there? Can anyone hear me? Clive, it's Stephen Appleton. Are you there? Can you hear me? Over. Come on, Clive, where are you? Damn it. Kate, it's Stephen. Come in Tower 6. Kate, are you there? Kate? Anyone, hello? Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Stephen Appleton broadcasting from within the quarantine zone. Can anybody hear me? Over. Oh, God, no. No. Fucking hell, no!
So I'm guessing they found him at the end. So he wants me to go further over to the right there. I want to check what's going on this way, although I think maybe it's wandering the wrong way. Now, one thing I heard a quick sound of earlier when when Stephen flew overhead was the sound of a heartbeat. So when you get an ultrasound on a baby, and it sounded to me like a heartbeat. So I'm going with the theory that Lizzie is indeed pregnant.
Jesus, man, what have you done to your face?
It's nothing. You collecting feed? Looks like the supplies haven't been coming in.
Huh? Again?
Phones are all strange. Can't pinpoint the logic of transmission.
You what? What are you doing with that paint?
Means the EMC are actually moving at the proper speed. Listen, Frank. Have you heard anything on the radio about a flu outbreak?
Doesn't seem much like flu to me.
They're shutting down access to the valley to try and isolate it. No, there's something about the phones. I can't put my finger on it quite yet.
What are you talking about? Hey, I'm still talking to you. Where are you going?
So he's the one painting all the signs everywhere, the little, I guess they look like Omega signs. So I found a little bit back here, which is meant to be like an agricultural farm. I'm not sure if I've already been to this bit. Yeah, I have. Yeah, because that's the little power station, isn't it? Yeah, so this is back where we were with the pub and all that.
I've never seen it.
They do, though.
You're overreacting.
Stephen, they stare at me. Yesterday I went into the village and this old woman just stopped in the middle of the street and stared at me like I had two heads.
Oh, don't be so melodramatic.
I'm like a walking freak show. Oh, this place, it's so insular. I just don't understand how you grew up here.
Well, I was very different then. And they're not so bad, really.
That's easy for you to say.
Just give it a bloody chance, Kate. This was the deal. A year here, and we could be in with a real shot at Lucia.
Stephen!
Oh, Christ, it's Lantham.
Stephen Appleton, I thought it was you. What's all this about a young wife? Oh. Hello.
Two heads, Stephen. Hi, I'm Kate.
So Lucia is an observatory in the European organization, European Southern Observatory. So it's in Chile, it looks like. So it looks like quite a big deal. So I guess, yeah, the deal was to do a little bit of slog here, and then you could end up in an even bigger observatory in a far more impressive area, which, you know, sometimes you gotta do. You gotta do the hard work to get yourself to go somewhere. So I wonder what we're gonna find on this side of the train platform. So let's look out. Ooh. Yeah, this platform really does remind me of the Bath Spa place. Quite twee. Okay, so that looks like a final section there. So let's just see if there's anything else here. It doesn't seem to be. So I guess let's trigger this one.
Darling Stephen, I don't know if you'll ever listen to this. Maybe you've decided to stay with Kate, and I can't blame you for that. But I can't wait for you either. I've got to think about the baby. And, well, I should have left a long time ago. I've run out of excuses for not leaving now. But I do love you, Stephen. And I hope you find peace one way or another. Oh, there's planes coming.
So there's goodbye to Lizzie. And like I said, it turns out she was pregnant. But that leaves us with the question, where's Stephen gone? And there we have all the planes flying across the sky. Now what's that? Is that a signal traveling across the electric lines? Where do you want us to go, Stephen? Where do you want me to follow you to? This way? I've got to find out what happened to you. And to Kate, because you seem to be the two only people left. See now, if you listen to Stephen very carefully, you can hear that sound of the ultrasound. It is there. So it looks as though the pattern, I can't say the word, But it looks like it tracked itself across the electrical lines, so it is moving. So this is where we found the one about Kate saying she was dying. The noise is getting terrific. Ah! So here we go. This is where the bunker where Stephen was, and it looks like it's where the lights have been coming in. So I guess we're gonna find out what happened to Stephen, if he survived or if he's now become the instrument for them. Generator's still working. I wonder if he hoped that he would survive, maybe, because he was stealing supplies to come down here. Gosh, this is... oh, God.
When I was a kid, my dad found a fox. It had been hit by a car and couldn't walk anymore. My mum went spare, of course. Made him keep it in the shed. He was already slipping away from us then. He spent hours with that fox, telling it all about Italy and the villages they bombed there. I was jealous, I think. That the fox got more of my dad than I did. But it was dying, that was clear. So one day, I snuck out, took it a sandwich for food. I was only 8. When it bit me, I remember the anger, the shock, the hurt. Running in, screaming from the garden. My mum panicking about rabies. My dad beat it to death with a spade. Later I found him crying. I'd done it, Ken's son. That's what he said. I'd done it, Ken, it was hurting you. That's just a poor, dumb, dying animal. It doesn't know it's hurting us. Christ help us, it's left the valley. It's everywhere now. It's been 3 hours since the planes went over. I haven't been able to reach anyone on the shortwave. I'm beginning to think I may have made a terrible miscalculation.
I wonder if you survived, Stephen. Doesn't seem like you did. But that's really poignant. It didn't know that it was hurting us. That's the thing, it's just an alien life form trying to communicate. How does it maybe not know? It's kind of a bit Star Trek. We need some whales. Oh, Stephen, what have you done in here?
You understand me, don't you? Well, there's no one left. Just me. You know what this is? What I'm gonna do? You want light? Fine. I'll give you light. After me, there's no one. You'll be all alone again. Forever. Like before. You've taken everyone I've ever loved from me. You've made me do things I never even thought I was capable of. But if you think I'm coming with you... Kate? Wait. Stop. Kate.
This is Catherine Collins. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this. It's all over. I'm the only one left.